Joining us now is former XL Keystone Pipeline worker Neal Crabtree. Neal, good to see you. So what do you think of this? So many jobs lost, and now the White House comes out and quietly says, oh, brother, it was a mistake.
Well, they didn't say mistake, right? They said, sorry. Sorry you lost your job. Actually, they didn't even say that, jackasses. Sorry.
We could have saved them a lot of money, you know, just by listening to somebody who has actually been in the industry for 25 years, not just myself, but the thousands of other coworkers that lost their jobs. But my main disappointment is this isn't even the study that they should have done. The study they should have done was how has canceling that pipeline affected the rest of the industry? Because I know from experience that you know, when energy companies have the rug pulled out from underneath them after spending billions of dollars and years in court battles and trying to get these permits, to have the rug pulled out from under you, they're nervous now about doing any other energy projects. And to tell you the truth, an energy company, they better be ready to go the extra mile if they want to build a pipeline in this country right now, because you're usually going to end up in federal court, and a lot of the times the Supreme Court.
And Neal, it was the Department of Energy. It found that the project would have created up to 59,000 jobs and would have had a positive economic impact of up to $10 billion, citing various studies. But to your point, it's not just one pipeline. It's the broad impact of a posture by this administration, of the approval process. So on that note, it's not just work on this one Keystone pipeline. What about work for people who do what you do?
Well, right now, I mean, there's still some pipeline new construction going on in the country, but it's mostly focused down around Texas because it's such an energy-friendly state. But the biggest problem that we have right now is when you want to build one of these pipelines that go to crossing state lines. That's when the government gets involved, and there's so many agencies that's got their hand in on this. And like I said, the real battle begins once you do spend 3 or 4 years getting your permits, and then you get these well-funded environmental groups who they usually wait till right before you're going to start construction, and then all of a sudden, hey, there's a butterfly out there we didn't know about, or something like that.
Salamanders. Reptiles are a source of love for the environmental groups. Sorry, I didn't mean it.
No, just quickly, forget the loss of energy independence that could have come from the pipeline, but what's happened to the guys, quickly? What's happened to the guys, the men and women who are working on the pipeline? Have they found other jobs that pay them as well?
Well, no, you're not going to find other jobs that pay as well, and a lot of them have had to try to find different careers, but there are some of us who are doing maintenance work on the older projects because we know how important they are, and if these projects go down and they're banking on this green energy to run the whole company, we're going to be in trouble then.
Yeah, we are.
Which pipelines are you working on? Like Colonial? Like a...
Oh, no, I mean, don't get me wrong, that's an aging pipeline too. There's probably work going on it all the time, but I hate to speak for any energy company saying what projects are going on.
It runs through my hometown,
Next
so
thing
I
you know you'll have protesters showing up at their front gate.
It runs through my hometown, so I know that, yeah. But how hard has it been to keep steady work?
It's been difficult. You know, myself, I've been a little bit luckier, but, you know, I know guys that, you know, had to cash in their 401ks, lost their houses, they lose their retirement benefits, their health insurance, all because of Classified Joe wanting to prove a point.
Listen, Neal, it's shameful. Thanks for coming and telling us your story.
Thank y'all.
We appreciate you being here. Thank you.
For having me.
Please come back.
I will.
Keep us posted.
Thank y'all.
Thank you. For more, let us bring in former Energy Secretary, former Texas Governor Rick Perry. Rick, great to see you. Welcome to the program. Just your reaction listening to Neal, particularly after the Department of Energy admits, huge economic losses and job losses because Biden killed the Keystone XL Pipeline.
There are thousands of people just like him, and families and concentric circles out from those individuals who got negatively impacted. But Dagan, here's an additional part of that story, is that this winter, as supply and demand actually starts getting to be very, very clear, there are a lot of people in the Northeast in particular who are going to see power bills, electric bills, fuel oil bills literally going through the roof. And at that particular point in time, there's going to be a lot of folks going, hey, wait a minute. This wasn't just some feel-good, warm and fuzzy thing that Al Gore and John Kerry were out spouting about, and the Greta Thunbergs of the world, that they go talk all about this green, environmental, we love the planet, and then reality sets in, and the attack on fossil fuels is going to cost people not just their jobs, but, well, at the end of the day, it's going to cost some people their jobs too, because their power bills are going to be so high. And this is and I'm not going to call them unintended consequences. These are intended consequences by those on the left that are going after the fossil fuel industry because they hate them, they hate capitalism, and we're going to see the results of that. And it is a tragedy for America. And Joe Biden he's either getting played like nobody's ever been played before. I don't know which it is. It doesn't matter. He's wrong. He needs to stand up and say, you know what, we should have finished that pipeline, and we're going to do everything we can to get pipelines built in the United States so America can be energy independent again. We're going to open up our federal lands and our offshore to be able to go out there and make America energy independent again. If we don't, the idea that somehow or another the renewables are going to be able to handle all of this, that's just nonsense. It's a stunning display of ignorance, I think, at a level we haven't seen in a long time coming out of Washington. And Rick, Sean, that's saying a lot.
That is saying a lot. Rick, I only have 20 seconds left, but what do you make of Neal's point that you get a Republican president and they're going to say, hey, listen, we're going to drill and we're going to have pipelines. These companies, after the Keystone experience, are going to be like, listen, we're not going to make those billions of dollars in investments. Is he right on that? Is this going to be a longer term impact than we might anticipate?
Absolutely. I mean, I think Sean laid it out really nicely, and we need to be really careful that the future is not impacted long term because of these short term and short-sighted decisions that are made and with the Biden administration.
Rick, great to see you. Thank you so much. And Neal was sitting here. He said absolutely when you said that. So Neal and
they're in agreement.
Rick Perry.
Thank you, Rick.
We all are.
Good to see you.
Sir.